All right, we're going to go ahead and get started here. My name is Annie Brocious, and I'm the program manager at the Arts and Business Council of Greater Nashville. With me today, but off screen for the moment, is Jonathan Harwell-Dye, our director of programs. And over here is Lindsay Cavara, the director of marketing at Nashville Soccer Club. So thank you so much for your interest in the 2025 Soundwaves Gallery. This afternoon, we're going to begin with some brief introductions, an overview of the project, and then dive into some of the details before opening it up for questions from all of you. So starting with the Arts and Business Council of Greater Nashville, we're an independent local nonprofit organization with a mission to leverage and unite the unique resources of the arts and business communities to create a thriving, sustainable creative culture in Nashville. We do this in part by offering direct services, key opportunities, educational workshops, as well as programs like Periscope Artist Entrepreneur Training, fiscal sponsorship, and other programs, all of which support artists in building and sustaining their creative businesses. For example, coming up December 6th, we're hosting an in-person workshop in our arts nonprofit Nuts and Bolts series on building successful fundraising campaigns. To learn more, you can see the link in the chat. We also offer pro bono legal and professional support for artists and arts nonprofits through our volunteer lawyers and professionals for the Arts Division, the VLPA. This includes quarterly free legal clinics, as well as our annual pro bono tax clinic, offering appointments with tax preparers and financial counselors. That's coming up in January. So stay tuned on our website and we will get that announcement out soon. And finally, we create mutually beneficial partnerships between the arts and business communities through programs like Arts Board Matching, our Creative Advantage Corporate Training Suite, and through project management partnerships like we have with the Nashville Soccer Club. And then I'm going to hand it over to Lindsay to tell us more about the soccer club.
Hi, everyone. So, as Annie mentioned, I am the director of marketing at Nashville Soccer Club. If you haven't been out to a game, I highly recommend them. Our 2025 season starts in February. So we became a club in 2020, starting to play in Nashville, and then GEODIS Park opened in 2022, which is our stadium and the home of the Soundwaves Gallery. So our CEO, kind of like as the background, when we opened the stadium, wanted to make a very Nashville focused kind of location. And so we wanted to have a lot of art and very Nashville centric things. So that is how the Soundwaves Gallery kind of came to be. And this is going into our fourth year of it.
Thanks so much, Lindsay. I guess we'll go right into our overview. So this is the fourth year that we've partnered with NSC on the Soundwaves Gallery, and each year we select works exclusively from artists in Nashville and surrounding communities to display in the VIP Suites corridor at GEODIS Park for the full duration of the NSC season. The pieces can be purchased at the online shop located at abcnashville.org and also linked to on NSC's website, where anyone can purchase works from the gallery. For the 2025 gallery, most 2D mediums will be accepted. This includes, but is not limited to, paintings, block and screen printing, photography, mixed media, wood, metal, and some types of sculpture. Given the shape of the space, artwork submitted must be able to be mounted safely on the wall. Works that are not intended to hang on a wall may not be accepted. High relief works will be considered on a case-by-case basis. Accepted works must be ready to hang and prepared for gallery presentation at the time of application, and any pieces needing a frame will ideally be in a simple black and white or wood frame. Works intended to be unframed will be considered as long as they're ready to hang. Ready to hang means that all hanging hardware, including any hooks, brackets, wires, everything are already installed on the piece and ready to go upon delivery. When submitting, please be sure to include the final outside dimensions, including the frame, as this is critical to our being able to determine where they could be positioned in the gallery. Each work must be no larger than 6 foot tall by 6 feet wide and must not impede on the walking area. The corridor is just that, it's a wide hallway, and pieces are to be mounted on the wall and they can't be set on tables or on the floor. We don't want to risk your piece being damaged by passersby because it is an active walkway, especially on game day. On the application, we ask that you provide the retail price for your piece. For this exhibit, we will accept pieces with a retail price up to $2,500. Should your piece be accepted into the gallery, the price that you indicated in your submission form will be what is displayed in the gallery signage and the online shop as the final retail price to the customer. And the exhibition theme this year is the Heart of Nashville, with the gallery displaying artwork celebrating people's stories and the community spirit at the core of Nashville's identity as a uniquely creative city. Works may be pre existing or created new for the purpose of this exhibition. Works should not use any of NSC's or its affiliates' trademarks, logos, or service marks, symbols, trade names, or other intellectual property for any purpose whatsoever without the team's prior written consent. So I wanted to give you an idea of the space that we're working with a few pictures. The gallery is the suites corridor. It's accessed on either end. So we do mount signage at either end to be able to introduce people that includes a description as well as a list of the artists that are being featured. And that's on both sides so that people know that they're entering someplace special. As I was saying, it's a corridor, not an open room. So the pieces are displayed along one side of the corridor with entrance to the suites on the opposite side. There are open walls, but there are also windows, doors, and beams that break up the space. You can see it presents challenges and opportunities to display different sizes and shapes of the work. All of the artwork is displayed with a standard traditional label, like you would at any other gallery, with a QR code to link to purchase. So I just wanted to scroll through a few photos. There's the beams that I was speaking of in some of the windows. And we have larger pieces and have ways of creatively displaying smaller pieces together. And this is just to give you some perspective of people in the space with their artwork of varying sizes. Moving to compensation, here's the breakdown. So there'll be a 70-30 split between the artist and NSC. For each piece sold, the artist will ultimately receive 70% of the retail price. Regardless of whether or not the piece sells, the artist will receive 10% upfront as a rental fee. This will be mailed within 8 weeks of the gallery install. If the work sells, the artist will receive the remaining 60% commission. If it does not sell, the work will be returned to the artist at the end of the season, and the artist keeps 10% of that rental fee. We won't take that rental fee back. So, for example, offer a $1,000 retail value or price for the piece. $100 is paid to the artist upfront as a rental fee. So that check is sent to you. If we say 8 weeks of the gallery install, if the work sells, the artist receives the remaining $600 for a total of $700. If the work does not sell, the artist keeps the rental fee and the piece is returned after the conclusion of the season. And limited image rights are granted to the NSC for promotion of the gallery. As for the application, it can be accessed either through the Arts and Business Council website via the Opportunities Hub, abcnashville.org/opportunities, or directly through Submittable at abcnashville.submittable.com/submit. So the application begins by asking a series of questions so that we may collect contact and demographic information. Next, you need to upload a PDF of your CV or artistic resume. Then you'll need to provide an artist bio and/or statement telling us more about you, your creative practice, and your experience with galleries, exhibitions, or art shows. If selected, this would be used on the GEODIS Park website to promote your participation in the gallery. As for your actual artwork submissions, you may submit up to 5 pieces. Each submission must include the title, medium, dimensions, and suggested retail price. A narrative about the work, including how it relates to the exhibition theme, The Heart of Nashville, celebrating the people, stories, and community spirit at the core of Nashville's identity as a uniquely creative city. And each submission can include a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 5 images of the piece. The first image should be a clear front image of the complete piece. Any additional images could serve for showing texture or showing certain elements that you'd like to highlight. And finally, the certifications. You'll be required to certify the statements made in your submission form are true and correct to the best of your knowledge, and the artwork submitted are created by you, the applicant. Any false statement or misrepresentation of your artwork may disqualify you from this call for art. You agree that the pieces submitted will be available to be installed at GEODIS Park in January 2025 and sold exclusively for the duration of the time It is part of the exhibition, and the exhibition closes in December, usually mid-December. You understand that the retail price you listed for your piece is final, and if the piece is accepted, that price will be the price printed on the gallery labels and listed in the online gallery and may not change. By submitting your application, you understand that the pieces accepted for placement in the gallery will remain at GEODIS Park Gallery until after the Nashville Soccer Club season has ended. So that would be through December of 2025. And finally, by submitting your portfolio, you agree to abide by the decision of the curatorial committee and that all decisions of the curatorial committee, Arts and Business Council of Greater Nashville and Nashville Soccer Club are final. Artwork submissions are due Friday, December 6th at noon. Submissions will be evaluated by a curatorial committee composed of curatorial experts, along with NSC stakeholders, that will select final works for display. The committee will confirm that the submission meets all the basics criteria for the call for art. For instance, if the artist is a current resident of Nashville or surrounding areas, the price of the piece, size of the piece, and our ability to display the piece properly within the space. The committee will confirm that the piece also fits the theme. The committee will select artwork in a variety of styles and media by a diverse group of artists who represent the diversity of the Nashville community. Artworks will be selected in early January and artists notified in mid-January. The install will take place the last week of January. We will schedule a single day in January on which all artists or their representatives may hand deliver their works to GEODIS Park. We can't accept shipments, nor can we make individual appointments for drop-offs. We will let you know when that date and time window are confirmed. And finally, the gallery opens the week of February 24th in alignment to the beginning of the NSC season.
I'm Jerica. But I just like if you like use the likeness of someone, I'm under the like, for example, Dolly Parton. That's okay.
Yeah, I think that it should be fine because I seem to remember that we did have some pieces that had like we had some collage pieces that had images of some popular singers. All right, so Jennifer asked, is it 5 different works or 5 images of one piece? Um, yes, you can submit up to 5 pieces, and you could 5 different pieces for us to select from. It is possible for more than one to be selected, and there is space in the submission. It allows you to add more images of that piece. As for surrounding areas, we have, when we say surrounding areas in Nashville, we are talking about there's a 10 county area surrounding Middle Tennessee. So that's Davidson. Actually, I have the list. I have a list here: Davidson, Cheatham, Dixon, Maury, Montgomery, Robertson, Rutherford, Sumner, Williamson, and Wilson counties. We have Michelle here asking, have we ever had photography pieces in the past? I just didn't see any in the clips that you showed. Yes, we have actually. Every year we have photography of some form. I see Michael Ray not here on the call. He has submitted large photographic prints that are really very coolly backlit. But yes, standard photographs are part of the visual art spectrum that we accept.
Do you have any guidelines around things like street photography?
I can
Emily,
speak to that. Yeah,
please, yeah.
all my stuff is street photography, and it's of a lot of it are strangers on the street, because it's a art piece and it's for display in a gallery. You don't need photo releases for those kinds of things.
That's exactly what I was
You're,
looking for to
you're
find
you're
out.
covered. You're covered for that. However, if it was going to be used as a an ad or, sponsoring something, then definitely you'd need a release on it. But it's public domain, or what that's called, not public domain, but
It's that there's not expectation of privacy in a
yes,
public area.
that's the judge's language exactly.
Do you have a spot where we can go look at the requirements for the application and the themes and all of that?
That should all be in this at abcnashville.org/opportunities is where we have a written out full description. of the submission requirements, and there's also a link directly to the submittable site, which also has all of that laid out.
Perfect.
And I'm going to
Thank
go
you.
back to the Dolly Parton question. My partner in crime here, Jonathan Hardwell-Dye, at Director of Programs, said that it should not be an issue to share a likeness of another artist. Oh, is there a measurement for relief or shadow box style display? My response to that is, if this is something that can be safely hung on a wall, and it shouldn't be something that has to sit on a countertop or has to be in some sort of large special display box. Yeah, we have had shadow box displays that have been up to, I think, 2 to 3 inches deep. Hey, so with Gallery Ready, is a gallery wrap for canvas okay? Yes, we have received plenty of artwork that is gallery, or that is canvas pieces, stretch canvas, as long as there's hardware to hang installed on the back of it. And again, about hanging on the walls, and this refers to the shadow box as well. This is a hallway, and people do walk back and forth on it. And we are concerned about making sure that things are hung on the wall and are secure on the wall, as number one, so things don't fall, and number two, so they don't get nudged.
Can you talk a little bit about the media release? You talked about Nashville Soccer Club has the right to release that. I know, doesn't the Arts and Business Council do an online thing with the artists? Can you talk a little bit about that?
On our website, we have the gallery that has all the pieces and all the artwork descriptions. And then on the GEODIS Park website, they have a whole feature on a whole set of pages on the artwork over at GEODIS Park. And part of that includes a page where people can see photos and bios of all of the artists. And in addition to that, in the last couple of years, and I think we're going to do it slightly different this year, the last couple of years in our Arts and Business Council newsletter out to our audience of about 10,000 readers, we do a little feature where we feature the artist, their artwork, and a brief version of the bio, and a direct link to purchase the artwork and a description of the artwork. So all of this is a goal to be able to promote the fact that you're accepted in the gallery, that you're participating in it, that your artwork is being featured, and that it can be purchased by anybody. Lindsay, isn't there something too at the games?
Yeah, so each of our home games, we have 17 home games a year. We'll do a little artist feature we'll select one piece and promote a photo of the art piece, the name of the artist, and a photo of the artist, as well as like a QR code to purchase it, and just kind of like highlighting a piece for an example, and then the whole gallery. And then the graphics that you've seen promoting the Soundwaves Gallery for 2025 and the interest, it's just a photo of the whole hallway. So those are kind of the various promotion pieces we use from the NSC side.
And speaking of them at the games, that everyone should know that they film and photograph in the stadium all the time. And so if while they're filming a game, or a match that's going on, if it just so happens that your artwork is featured on, on the scoreboard or something like that, end up requiring that we let you know that there's the possibility that they do have temporary rights, just so there's no conflict there. And we're asking if there's going to be an artist reception in the 2025 season. That varies depending on the schedule of events at GEODIS Park. And we always do our best to schedule walkthroughs for the artists. It just completely depends on the schedule that's going on there.
When you're looking at the price ranges, I
Mhm.
saw it like on your website, there's like a huge variety. In the
Yes.
past, what has been the success of some of the artwork that you guys have sold? And what's some of that price range that you see that sells most often?
We've seen varying, I mean, people have purchased artworks from all different ranges. We did lower the cost this year simply because we also are lowering the number of pieces that are reducing the number of pieces that actually are in the gallery in the first place because we have some other plans as well. So I think that there are all sorts of people who are looking at this gallery. So anybody who would want to, we try to have a variety of prices specifically for the purpose of engaging with someone who is maybe this is their first time purchasing something, or it's someone who has a larger collection. And it's just really hard to know what's going to sell. It just depends year to year who's walking through. It's just like any other place. A request about photos. Do you have to submit a photo of it already framed if it's a photo? Uh, it's nice to see it in a frame to see to see what it's going to look like in the gallery itself, but it's perfectly fine to submit it unframed as long as we know how much the frame is going to add to the size, because again, that helps us determine with the space that we have to use what will fit and what will fit where. So you just submit a normal photo, or should it be printed out already? I mean, if we need to see the photo as it would look when it is printed. So if there is any sort of something special you're going to be doing with it, like printing it on canvas, or collaging it, or doing some sort of special digital artwork in addition, anything like that. But if it's just a straight up photo that is your piece of work right there, just let us see the photo.